Who has always been there for you and influenced you throughout your life? Most of us would say a parent. Throughout my life as a son, no one has influenced me greater than my father has. He's always been there for me and always will. I know everyone has someone they want to pay tribute to, and for me that would be my father. He always brings out the best in me. That's why I'm paying tribute to Don Reed, my father. What makes Don Reed a great all-around person is how trustworthy, positive, and how forgiving he is. Anytime I need to talk to Don, I know I can say anything because he's very trustworthy. One time when I was 6, I drew all over the wall in crayon, and my mom would have screamed at me, "We're taking away TV," but my dad still didn't tell her. My dad has always inspired me to be trustworthy too, because of how it made me feel to be able to count on him. When my dad says he's going to do something, he always does it. When I was 11, he promised that we could go to Florida. And he kept that promise, and 2 years later, we did. In addition to being trustworthy, my dad is always being positive. For sure, one of his best traits is being positive no matter what. He always knows how to stay positive in the worst situations, like the time we got stuck in Florida 3 extra days because of a hurricane and he did not complain once. Even when my dad is sick, he still stays positive and says it's okay, I needed a break off from work anyways. Whenever my dad does something wrong, like the time he lost an important paper that he's supposed to keep for work, he stayed positive and tried to find it. He always says we learn from our mistakes. My dad wasn't happy though when he found the paper later in his filing cabinet. Of all my dad's great traits, nothing compares to his ability to overlook things done wrong. One of the things you always have to end up doing today is forgiving people, because you can't hold grudges. Once a guy ran over my dad's hand with the car, and instead of lashing out or seeking revenge, he realized it would be better if he just forgave him. When I was little, I probably did some pretty terrible things, so it's a good thing my dad's not trying to get revenge for the time I got ketchup all over his truck or when I broke his computer. He just learned to deal with it and forgave me. Just a few days ago, I tried making some toast and it caught on fire. And I burnt the counter as well. But just like he always does after scolding me, he told me it was okay and we all make mistakes and it's important that we learn from them. I hope now you see how many great traits my dad, Don Reed, has. I know everyone has a family member important to them and have a great impact on their lives. Now you can understand how Don Reed is always trustworthy, positive, and very forgiving. Of all the people in my life, no one has had a greater impact on me than my father. I don't even know a single person who could dislike him. Even though I may not always live near my dad, I know when I get older he will still be there for me.